Tonight on J&N Garage, a man eats coolant. A man gives himself first-degree burns.
That's hot.
And then a man gets kicked out of a mall by security because I'm too much of a liability to hurt myself while filming. Well, I didn't get the Recaro installed because it's missing some mounting hardware, so I have to run it. Oh yeah, these are nice. Super lightweight, super strong. I've always wanted a genuine set of Advans. Fantastic condition. Pilot sports will be wonderful. If I enjoy tracking the car again, I'll bump up to a grippier tire next year. So top gear, top tip. SF radiators are really convenient because they have this nice little drain plug. Now, if you're an idiot like me and you don't release this cap, so it's still a pressurized system, you shoot yourself in the face with coolant, and it doesn't taste good. It tastes sweet, like a Sour Patch Kid that you probably shouldn't consume or put in your mouth. So today's fun fact of suffering and bug-eye pain. Fresh fluids in. Driving and it did catch on fire. I did eat a lot of coolant, but it was pretty good. Well, I didn't get the Recaro installed because it's missing some mounting hardware, so I have to run to Home Depot this week. But yeah, this looks pretty damn good. I'm pretty okay with this. It's pretty great. Already splattered with bugs. The Pilot Sports are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's pretty much, I might say I've got one of the better road-going wagons. This is pretty damn good. I mean, it's in great shape now, and I just need to drive and enjoy it. So you're probably wondering a few things. One, Joey, why does your garage look like a bomb just went off? And that's the answer. A bomb basically did go off. It's just in horrible condition, and I need to clean and organize it. Number two, yeah, that's a Recaro Profi XL sitting on the ground. I installed it, but I don't have any footage because the planted seat base made me so angry and hateful that I wanted to rip it out and light it on fire and melt it down into something that would have actually fit my car and, you know, would line up with modern sliders from your major manufacturers, or, you know, like actually like fit without having to beat the hell out of it and ghetto rig a bunch of stuff and spend 3 hours, 2 hours just screwing with it, which, I mean, I'm not salty or anything. Okay, I'm really salty. Oh, yeah. By the way, I also swapped out the UK300 headlights and sold them over winter because if they get hit and smoked by some idiot texting on their phone, they're impossible to replace. So I sent a set of WRX headlights down to Sinister Retro Works, and Jason went to town with them, and we did a beautiful OEM Plus retrofit that looks absolutely phenomenal, and the light output is fantastic. So yeah, a little fun sidebar there. I can actually see at night now, which is really cool. First Gridlife track day in a long time. Bunch of American Freedoms coming in. Literally, they were the first people here, which is pretty damn. 1,000 horsepower right there. Oh, Gingerman's changed so much. Well, I have some good news and some bad news about the track day. The good news is that the car ran phenomenal. I got some fantastic pictures from other photographers, and ethanol is one hell of a drug. The bad news is I'm an idiot and I film sideways, and it also sounds like I'm in a wind tunnel, so it's pretty much torturous for the senses. You would probably enjoy me making Subaru noises more going around the racetrack than listening to that audio. It's that bad. So, for a kind of a summary, I'm going to start with me first, the driver. Still as comfortable as I was before. I don't have to shuffle my hands anymore because I have a seat that keeps me in place, that doesn't throw me around like a rag doll, which is wonderful. Can still work on my awareness some more. Sometimes I felt people were sneaking up on me before I didn't see them. But in general, I mean, fantastic experience after not being at the track for 2.5-3 years. Would I like to try like a rear-wheel drive chassis like a BMW Wagon? Definitely, yeah. It might be a little cheaper to run than a Subaru and way less, but that's another discussion for another day. But as a driver, I feel like I've made some progress here, and we'll keep at it over the next year or two and see how much better I can be as a driver with this poor 20-year-old shitbox that I've tinkered with for years. Now, the car, on the other hand, performed absolutely phenomenal. We'll start with the calibration. Graham Gaylord at Booster Performance Tuning did a wonderful job on ethanol. It runs like a dream. There's just stupid amounts of torque from like 4,000 RPM all the way up to 7,500. It just runs fantastic. I mean, the car's great. Really, really fun to drive. It's like 340 wheel, 330 wheel probably. Not a shit ton of power and everything, but it's just really, really fun to drive. And the calibration's been fantastic. Engine is holding up wonderful. Oil pressure is great. I mean, after 15 minutes on track, oil pressure is still like 80 psi, 75 psi under load at like 7,000 RPM. I glanced over. Awesome. Can't be any happier. Transmission still holding up fantastic. Same old. I mean, the Turning Concepts Tall Boy shifter with Kart Boy, absolutely great shifter. It's just awesome overall. Then diffs, everything else was great. Brakes are something that'll need to be improved upon. I really, really would like to have a brake kit in it, but it's really not necessary at this pace. I'm still really slow. Probably a PFC 08 or a PFC 11 pad would better benefit me with the added bite, along with a much stickier set of tires, perhaps like a Falcon 660. But to do that, you get into all sorts of other stuff. You need an oil pan. You need a bunch of other things to make it so you can still have a safe, reliable car on that. So that's another thing I'm going to have to discuss down the road. But the car has performed absolutely fantastic. As for suspension, the Racecomp Engineering Super Street one-way KW shocks, absolutely wonderful shocks. I'm going to play with the dampening a little bit next time I go there, turn them up a little bit more. Probably going to try to run a little bit more camber, maybe negative 3.2 up front and maybe like 2.0, 2.1 on the rear. I was running negative 3 and negative 1.6, 1.7. It was good, but it probably can be improved upon. The Pilot Sport 4S's, though, for a street tire, as quiet as they are and as well-mannered they are, absolutely fantastic on the track. No signs of chunking or anything or any damage to them or anything. They take the heat fine. They hold up great. no issues at all. But keep in mind, I'm also a very slow driver. I'm not a time attack driver. I'm not very fast. I did time attack once and then was like, ooh, got my teeth kicked in, and I'm gonna have to come back and sit down at Gingerman and be like, unless I'm running like 140 consistently, there's really no point in me doing time attack at this point. But yeah, the shocks were wonderful. I mean, everything worked as intended. So yeah, I mean, I even got my doors blown off by a fully decked out Scat Pack on Hoosiers. Great times. I got my doors blown off by a GT4 Cayman. Absolutely beautiful sounding car. My friend Steven gapped me in his car because he has way more balls than I do. But yeah, it was really great track day. I mean, I passed some S2000s, passed some BMWs. Great time. Now, something else that I thought of on the drive home from Gingerman was like, I'm 30 now. My father came out to the track with me and tracked his Miata for the first time. This is going to become more of a hobby to spend quality father-son bonding time with than just like a pure go out and set lap time hobby. Because the older you get and you get past 30, you're like, shit, my parents are starting to get up there in age. And you start to see them age and stuff like that. And you have the memories of when you're like 10, 11, 12, 15 or so. And like now you're starting to see your parents age a little bit. So you're wanting to spend more and more time with them and quality time. And this is a great excuse to spend quality time with my father, eating tacos and going to track days and having a great time. I mean, his Miata performed phenomenal. So you don't need to spend $30,000 on a shitty Subaru to go out and do track days. You can go out and do track days with a $5,000 NA Miata that you bought off Craigslist, and it might have a questionable history, but put good fluids in it and put good pads on it and decent tires, and you'll be perfectly fine. I mean, you could even come out with Pilot Sports like I did and have a great time and be semi-competitive in terms of like intermediate or advanced. You're not going to get completely left in the dust, but I mean, you'd be at a power disadvantage. But I digress. If you have parents that are interested in this in any type of way, bring them out with you. Or if you're interested, shoot me a message if you have questions or anything. It's a fantastic hobby. Gridlife is a wonderful group to run with. It gets the stigma from being a bunch of partiers and stuff like that. The reality is it's a bunch of 30-year-old boomers, 40-year-old boomers who just race cars when they were younger, and now they bring their families to it. I mean, there were kids running around the paddock and everything with their parents, looking at cars and stuff. Like it was just such a fantastic event. Like I can't say any more good things about the Gridlife guys, because for the price, $110 track day, and they feed you, like you're not gonna find that anywhere. Your minimum for one day is usually $180 to $200. So it's just a great value for money, and the people you meet there are just fantastic, really wonderful individuals. But yeah, going over like the future of this car and everything is kind of weird. I really like it as it is right now, and I'm very much enjoying driving with it. So I'm kind of like hesitant to go crazy on mods, wrap it and everything. Like that'd be cool, but man, the paint's in really good condition, and I just enjoyed driving it. So I might actually get the June bumper painted body color. I haven't quite decided yet. But other than that, I'm just going to keep driving and burning E85 because it's just really enjoyable to drive. It's just a pure mechanical car that just keeps on going, and it's comfortable for a car that's modified. It's comfortable. And I've been told I'm a curmudgeon or an old geriatric man, and so if I can ride around in a Recaro Profi XL, if you're younger, you'll be perfectly fine. Potential upgrades though this summer, the PRS rack is really, really needed. The car clicked over 170,000 miles on track, and when I came off, I was like, oh, that power steering pump is really unhappy. I got out of the car, and my friend Joe's like, yeah, your power steering pump has definitely seen better days. It's not like spitting out fluid anywhere or on the track or on the paddock, but it's weeping in some areas, and it's really unhappy. It makes horrific noises once you get a ton of heat into it. So I ordered a PRS rack, which is a 12-to-1 rack, and I ordered all new power steering lines, which just arrived this week. And so I'll probably install that sometimes towards the end of June and get it all sorted out and ready to rock and roll this fall. And so, yeah, like the car's been running phenomenal. It really hasn't had any major issues. I'm seeing some possibilities of seals starting to need to be replaced, so I'm going to order a OEM gasket kit for a version 9 STI engine from Japan Parts and have that shipped over this summer. And like right now, it's just in a really really good place, and I don't feel the need to really modify it a ton. I mean, that being said, I am casually looking for an E46 touring wagon, or yeah, wagon touring. It depends. In Europe, they call them touring. So I'm looking for a 2000 to 2005 E46 touring, to make basically a cruiser slash backup track car or a primary track car, so that I can just drive the WRX around a lot more and have something else to beat up on the racetrack that is not as emotionally attached as the Subaru is. I'll still bring the Subaru to Gingerman and Grattan, maybe like mid Ohio, but I am not going to push 100%, push like super hard, and even doing so on an HPD day is just not advised. I'm still going to track it, just not as like super frequently, or I'm not going to try to set time track records. I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to have a great time with my friends and great time with my father. So thanks for listening to this prolonged 16-minute rambling rant, and I'll throw in some pictures of the tacos and stuff that we had. But if you get the chance to go to Gridlife Taco Track Day next year, definitely do it. If Gridlife is coming to your neck of the woods, definitely sign up for an event. If you're new, sign up and get in their beginner program. They have great instructors, really great classroom experience. Just awesome experience overall. I couldn't have asked more for going back to a track day. Oh, and one more thing. A little towing summary. It was my first time ever towing my WRX with my own vehicle, and I was towing with my 2013 Touareg TDI. It towed fantastic. The only issue I found was the trailer plug that we had at the beginning was pure garbage. Don't buy U-Haul trailer plug ever. They're shit. They're trash. So replace that. That's all good. How the trailer is set up by U-Haul puts a lot of tongue weight on the rear. Contrary to public belief and best practice, you can probably load the car on backwards and get better tongue weight distribution, and it would probably tow a lot better. So if you're towing with a U-Haul, keep that in mind. It goes against best practices and what everyone says, but it should be safe and it should put less tongue weight on the car. But the Touareg towed absolutely phenomenal. Got 20 mpg towing, which is freaking great. I can't ask any more of that car. It even gets 29 mpg by itself, hauling ass down I-94. So I can't ask any more of that car. It's been phenomenal for the last year and a half. But other than that, thank you for watching. If you've gotten this far, I'm sorry to subject you to this much rambling, but it's a way for me to clear my thoughts and just think about things without having the adrenaline from the track day. And sorry these videos are taking so long. They'll be coming with more frequency. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on whatever you want and subscribe if you want to. If not, I don't care either way. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the holiday because it is Memorial Day weekend. So if you're in the United States, if you're not, well, enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.